great for the Board of Education. Mrs. Stella, Vice President of the Board of Education, is here. I know I saw Mrs. Minuis, Joe Minuis, she's here. John, where are you? Come on up here, we loved it. She's in the back. She'd like to be in the limelight. I appreciate her being here and supporting the students. So, exciting night for us. Whatever, the best part of board meeting, you know? When we get to recognize community members, staff members, our students, and the programs and the things that we do. So we're going to start at the back of the program with the recognition of the 100 years of the anniversary of 100 years of football and in Middletown. So without any further ado, I am going to turn it over to Mr. Carroll, our athletic director, because he's going to say a few words. But just very quickly, I want to say for all you student athletes out there, it's people like Ray Beff and John Scala, people that really embrace and take great pride in all of your efforts and your accomplishments and the great things you do and the great things that your coaches do, and celebrate it and really celebrate our traditions. And Middletown is such a tradition-rich community, not only, of course, because of the great history and the long history of this community and the historical perspective, but for our co-curricular activities and our athletics. And certainly those are two guys. Mr. Beff has done an unbelievable job of really celebrating the rich history of Middletown, and particularly as it relates to our co-curricular activities. And John Scala, his work at Middletown High School North to celebrate all the great accomplishments of the student athletes there, and deserves a distinction as well. So without any further ado, Mr. Carroll.
When I got here 7 years ago, there was a man on this committee that hired me, and at the end I said, who was that guy? Well, that's the mayor of Middletown. He knows everything about anything that's happened athletically here. And Ray, I can't thank you enough for all you've done over the years. If I have a question about the history of something, why do we do something, Ray has an answer. He remembers the fullback from the 1954 team, everything like that. This year, Ray helped out as a long snapping coach for the football team. Did a great job. I don't think we screwed up any snaps this year. Okay. And John Scala's here and revitalized the Hall of Fame here. And if you go down by the gym, it is just a sight to be seen. We're back in business, everything like that. So can we call up both Ray and John?
Middletown High School North Principal, Dr. Cartier, thanks for being here and celebrating your efforts. Yeah, let's get a picture. I think God said no. Did you get old school spirit or just most likely to succeed? Next, if Mr. Whitman could come up and join us too. Is Marguerite Stocker here with us? Come on. For those of you, like the community members, I think, and the community involvement is what makes Middletown really special. People like Mr. Beff and Marguerite Stocker, and you, Marguerite is an amazing force of the community. And many years ago, when I first got here, I met Marguerite very early in the process, and she was really championing a safe routes to school and concerns for students that were walking to school, and pretty much by herself began to look into and research information on grants and find ways to support safe routes for our students to school. And it wasn't that long later until she came to me and said that she was applying for $1 million grant, in communities like Middletown that are suburban communities. Grants are really hard to come by. It's a process that is labor intensive. It really takes somebody who's gonna really work hard and stay after it and get a lot of support from different groups. So elected officials, both in the township and the Middletown Township Committee worked very hard with the Board of Education, and really under the leadership of Marguerite, we worked collaboratively, but then she went above and beyond and got legislators across the state and the county and freeholders, got many people involved. And so at this point, I think it's more important that the words from Mr. Whitman as principal on where we are today and bringing this $1 million grant to fruition, and what an exciting luncheon we just had a few weeks ago and accepting that grant and Marguerite's award. But I'll turn that over to Dave to say.
Thank you, Dr. George. I think you said it perfectly that Marguerite is a force, and the award that she was recognized with, she was named Champion of Change, and that was an award that was given statewide, and I thought that was truly perfect. Marguerite was one of the first people I met when I came to Middletown. She was the PFA president. And one of the first conversations I had was about the state of trying to ensure that our culture for our students to safely walk and bike to school would be something that would continue. And for those of you that know, on Hubbard Avenue, that could potentially, there are some challenges along the way, and we definitely wanted to make sure that that was going to continue to be possible. So Marguerite actually introduced me, and I really wanted to thank her, to the Safe Routes to School organization. And these are partners that we made that came in and began educating our students about how to walk and bike safely to school. And then throughout the year, what ended up happening is we were gaining recognition year after year. And then when we got word that we applied for the grant, that was something that I agree with Dr. George. We were very shocked to receive such a grant. When we went to the luncheon, we also found out that we received the largest grant in the state. There were other grants that were given out that were $300,000 for it, but Middletown Township was the school that had $1 million grant. So, and I think for those involved in the process, the driving force behind that was Marguerite, and she deserves our recognition tonight. So thank you so much for that.
Picture time. I did those websites. Champion change.
Good evening. So our next community award recipient and honoree this evening is Kristen Gillette, founder and executive director of the Courtney Rose Foundation, which many of our students here I know support very strongly. The Courtney Rose Foundation is very grateful for the generous support from the Middletown school community during Courtney's Cash for a Cure fundraiser and the Go Gold football games. Our 17 schools raised a total of $12,891 during our fall service learning opportunity to fund pediatric brain tumor research, which was a 20% increase, or $2,578 exactly, more than the amount raised last year. The fundraising efforts by our Middletown schools will directly benefit the pediatric brain tumor research done through the collaborative 17-institution Children's Brain Tumor Tissue Consortium, operated out of the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Our top 3 elementary classes were Miss Kelly Graham's first grade class, Mrs. Julie Raciopi's K-2 class at River Plaza Elementary, Miss Elise Connolly's kindergarten class at Nutswamp Elementary School, and Miss Aislinn Mullins' kindergarten class at New Monmouth Elementary. The top 4 schools raised 58% of the money donated by our school community. The Board of Education would like to recognize our schools for their support on behalf of children with pediatric cancer. At this time, we'd like to invite up Mr. David Whitman, principal of River Plaza Elementary, Mr. Neil Leone, Nutswamp Elementary School. I think they have some students and staff members who would also like to come up, and as well as Ms. Gillette, our honoree, who they would all like to speak a little bit more about. Mr. Leone?
Good evening again. I just wanted to especially recognize our homeroom teacher, Miss Graham. And we have 2 of our students, Christian and Ethan, who are part of that. Their homeroom raised over $500 as a group. And I also want to recognize Mrs. Tyndall and Mrs. Shunk, right here. Mrs. Shunk, our PFA president. Our PFA got really behind our organization this year, and really want to congratulate their homeroom. So thank you. Great job, students and staff.
Over at Nutswamp, Ms. Connolly's kindergarten class was our leading fundraiser in this very important event, and it's my pleasure to recognize Ms. Elise Connolly and 2 of my little friends from her class here, John and Maddox, who helped fundraise for this important fundraiser.
Great job, Barb.
Mama, anywhere, but there are any representatives from the mountains will be taken. Okay.
Okay, at this time, we're going to move our recognition forward to our student athletes.
Hold up. Yeah, is there anyone else from South? Anyone else here from South?
Girls who are on soccer and field hockey and track teams. Are any of you involved in raising funds for the Quinn Rose Foundation? I'm sure that some of you are. No? Okay, so...
Mr. Kirkpatrick will take the award for high school South. There.
Steve, I don't know.
Let's say the word.
Good evening, everyone.
we've been working with Ms. Gillette now for, I would say, 3 or 4 years, and it's been a real honor and a pleasure to be raising funds for such a worthy cause. I was glad. So, really the driving force of this fundraiser were the students. Some of them are not, none of them are here tonight because they're busy, they're doing extracurricular and co-curricular activities. But I did want to say that we are very proud to raise funds for your organization, and we look forward to our partnership continuing the following year. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, now we'll really switch gears to the student athletes. And as Dr. George already mentioned, we're very proud of our student athletes here in Middletown. As a former student athlete coach, it warms my heart to see you all here tonight, having excelled like you did in the fall season. And at this time, we'd like to ask Mr. Carroll and Mr. Kirkpatrick to please come up to honor our student athletes at this time.
Thank you. As we embark on the winter season, it's nice to look back on the fall season and all the success that we had across the district. Our middle school teams were phenomenal. We had several undefeated teams. And at the high school level, I'm proud to announce that every one of our varsity programs at both high schools qualified for some type of postseason, be it the short conference or the state level. And that's the first time since I've been here in 7 years, but every varsity team qualified for the postseason. So something to be very proud of. The 3 teams here tonight excel beyond that, though. Usually at school, it's not unusual to have a sectional champion. Maybe have 2. It's really unheard of that we have 3 sectional champions, all girls out of that movie. So and one of the status quo for the state on excellence in athletics is the ShopRite Cup. And currently, it came out today that we are currently 2nd in the state as far as the ShopRite Cup, so we can push forward and maybe win this thing this year. So our first team, the Cliftons have had a lot of success over the years, but I don't know that they've had this much success with this team. It seemed like every Saturday night I was trying to text Bill a new phrase or congratulations, and I ran out of words. I just said, enough, Bill. They won Monmouth County, short conference, sectional, state. So will the Cliftons come up and introduce their team?
I want to say too about the Cliftons. Every year we go to the signings, and to hear them talk, to hear Bill talk about his student athletes, it really warms your heart and it really tells you what's behind a great coach, and it's certainly the love of a student athlete. So, Bill, I look forward to that every year, listening to you talk about your student athletes and the amazing places they're going, thanks to your tutelage and leadership.
Well, first I'd like to acknowledge the assistant coach, Kathleen.
I am a good man.
Yeah. It seems the head coach gets all the accolades, but anybody who is associated with this program, especially me, knows that we would not have done the things that we did this year without Kathleen. So thank you very much. And thank you to the Board of Ed and the administration for recognizing what turned out to be our dream team this season. We started, our preseason rank was 37 in the state, but we kind of thought that would change. We went undefeated early in the season and won the A North divisional title, but the real turnaround on the season, the eye-opening moment, was when we went to Van Cortlandt Park in New York to compete in that Manhattan Invitational, which is the Eastern States Championships. And for the first time in school history, we won our division. But what was even more amazing on that was on the team merge at the end of the day. The hundreds of teams that had competed in all the different divisions, from early in the morning until early afternoon, we were number 3 overall in the Eastern States. And that turned everything around, opened up everybody's eyes, and we even thought, are we really that good? Well, the test would come at the next meet at the Monmouth County Championships, where we would meet 3 teams that were in the top 10 in the state. And they were very wary of us because of our Manhattan result, but we showed that we belonged there, and the team became the Monmouth County champions. We moved on to the short conference, and now We were in the top 10 in the state. We were the favorites to win the Shore Conference, and we thought, are they going to bend to the pressure now of being the favorites? Well, I guess not, because they won the Shore Conference by 25 points. We went from there. From there, we went to the state sectionals. We traveled up to Greystone, which is in Morris County, and we were facing the number 4 team in the state in Mendham on their home course, and it was a very tight battle, tough, but the girls came away with the state sectional title on that day. And from there, it was the all-important, the unbelievable state group final that we never thought that we would be up for this when the season first started. And we gathered the girls in our sunroom the night before, and we said, do you think that we can actually win a state title? And they said, let's just run the way that we've run all year long, and we'll see what happens. And on that Saturday morning, it was cold and windy. We were back at our home course, Homedale Park. The girls became state champions on that day. They went on to the media champions, where they finished 3rd. So that was their final rank in the state, number 3, from 37 to 3, which was quite impressive. And the season didn't end there, because they were invited by Nike, invitation only, to the Northeast Regional Championship that was held in Wappinger Falls, New York. And there they came in 4th in the Northeast on a course that they had never seen, never ran in, and they were 4th in the Northeast, and just missed qualifying by a qualifying place to go to Portland, Oregon for the national championships. And that was our year, that was our dream season. And it was a dream for us, not necessarily because of all the accomplishments that we did, but it was because the girls were so respectful to us. They believed in everything that we said, and they followed us. And on top of that, the families, the parents, the grandparents, the brothers, the sisters, the aunts and uncles were so supportive of us, and were so gracious and happy that we had taken care of the girls this year. And that's a thing that we'll remember and that we'll always carry with us. So thank you all for that. Now, I only have 8 girls out here because only 8 girls were involved in the actual championship races. So if you'll come up as I announce your name. Sophia Tardy. Sophia is a sophomore. She had a great track season last spring as a freshman. Decided to come out for cross country, which we were very happy about. And she participated in the Manhattan meet, and she was part of the Monmouth County Championship. Emma Buthorn. Emma's a freshman. She found her stride in the middle of the season. She made the top varsity team in the middle of the season and never gave up that position. She was part of our Shore Conference championship team and our state championship teams. Lauren Hudson. Lauren is a freshman at Bayshore. And we never thought that a girl who was so level-minded, easygoing, could be so ferocious and determined when she got on the race course. And to tell you the truth, we would not have gone as far into the season without Lauren. Lexi Dean is a sophomore. All Lexi wants to do is please people. And if that means being clutch and consistent for the team, then that's what she would do, and that's what she did. She was on the starting line for every championship race that we had this season. Glenn Afanasevich. This is another freshman out of Bayshore. And it's really hard in any sport to improve every time that you go out for your next competition. But that's what Gwen did this year. Her fun-loving demeanor kept the team very loose, and she also helped the coaches, who were just as nervous as the girls were before the races started. She is the number 15 performer all time, and she is our Coaches Award winner this year, too. Michelle Poyat. Michelle is the only senior that's on our team. And boy, did we need her experience and her guidance. Her talks to the team on the starting line right before the races were valuable. She was steady in her races, and we needed that to compete at this level. She is the number 12 performer all time at High School South for girls, and she made third team Group 3 All-State. Lucia Afanasevich, she's a sophomore, and she brought the star power this year based on her incredible freshman year last year, and she did not disappoint this year. She finished near the top in all of the championship races. She is our number 7 performer all-time at Sal. She's first team All-Shore. She's first team Group 3 All-State, and third team all groups All-State. That's Lucy. And lastly, it's Reese Bates. She's a freshman. All Reese wanted to do was be the best freshman in the area. Well, Reese did a lot more than that. She became not only the best runner, the best freshman runner in the state, but one of the finest runners in the state of New Jersey. She individually won the state sectional championship. And when she won the state group title, it was the first time that a South runner had ever done that since the great Kay Guiney did it in 1998. She is, also, and the team that just barely missed going to the Nationals as a team, well, Reese qualified as an individual. She was flown out to Portland, Oregon by Nike, and she competed in the national championships there at the Nike Center there, and finished 64th in the entire nation, only 16 seconds behind the New Jersey Mini Champions winner. She is first team All-Shore. She was the Shore Runner of the Year. She's first team Group 3 All-State and second team all groups All-State, and our number 3 performer of all time. So this is our team that was proud to represent the Middletown community this season. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Seven underclassmen, Bill, so no pressure, but we'll see you back here next December. Our next team, I don't think this coach ever thought she'd be up here. Her first season was a struggle. They invented ways to lose. They lost 2-1 in overtime, 3-2. It was just a constant battle. I used to get a text once a week, please don't fire me. And I'm glad they didn't fire her. And they are sectional champs, Jordan Hickman with the field hockey team.
Thank you. Please don't fire me. Good evening, Dr. George, members of the Board of Education, Mr. Carroll, Mr. Kirkpatrick, Middletown staff and students, parents, families, and community members. It's an honor and a privilege to stand before you tonight. I would like to congratulate both the girls cross country team and the girls soccer team for being honored tonight for their successful seasons, as well as the 4 schools being recognized for their outstanding contributions to the Courtney Rose Foundation, and others being recognized for their notable achievements. There are so many things to celebrate, and everyone here should be so proud. The field hockey team that sits in front of me now looks quite different 2 seasons ago. Most of these players were freshmen and sophomores thrown into the varsity lineup for the first time, and we went 0-12-1 before winning a single game. We finished that season by 15-1, but regardless of record, the girls had heart. They never gave up on each other, they trusted the process, and were determined to find success. Last year, the team broke the record for the most wins in a season, captured an undefeated division title, and made it to the state sectional finals for the first time in over 2 decades. After a heartbreaking loss and the graduation of 9 seniors, I wasn't sure where we would land this year. We were questioned and doubted, but it only fueled the fire. This team defined what it means to rise to the occasion. They claimed the division title for the 2nd straight season and made it back to the state sectional finals. However, for the first time since 1995, we won. This team is resilient, passionate, and driven. They were all in all the time. They dealt with adversity and doubt, but never let it hold them back. They have exceeded all expectations, and I could not be more proud to have been part of such an amazing experience with an even more amazing group of young women. We did have 2 all-state or all-group selections this year, 1 all-shore selection, and 6 all-division selections. We ended 5th in the shore conference, 7th in our state group, which were both improvements from last year. I would like to thank Dr. George, members of the Board of Education, Mr. Carroll, Mr. Kirkpatrick, and the Southfield hockey families for making this possible and for your endless support of our athletics program and our student athletes. I would also like to thank my assistant coaches who aren't here tonight because they have kids, for their time, effort, and advice every step of the way. On behalf of the Board of Education, I would like to recognize each member of the 2019 field hockey team for her contributions to the season, the program, and the Middletown South community. Maddie Sigolini. Leah Simonella. Kayla Freiba. Gianna Rassiopi. Renee Leodakis. Emily Salvador. Bella Unrath. Sophia Raymond. Laura Pomadesso. Peyton Kenny. And Kylie Doyle.
Middletown is known for a lot of things, but we have quickly rose to the top of the state in girls soccer. 2 years ago, the Middletown South girls soccer team won the Group 3 state championship. Last year, Middletown North won a sectional championship, and back up here this year is the South team for a sectional championship. And no small part, Coach Barry and Coach Smith have done a great job building this program, and we continue to just dominate the world of soccer now. Come on up, Coach.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Megan Barry. I'm the head coach for the girls soccer team at Middletown South. Dr. George, members of the Board of Education, administration, staff, coaches, student athletes, family, and friends. I want to start by congratulating all of you. What a great district that we are in, hearing all of the achievements of community members and students and staff and student athletes. It's always such a privilege to hear all that's going on. A little bit about the girls soccer program. From the moment that this group of girls stepped onto the field together about 6 months ago, there was this collective feeling that we were going to do something special. You know, we had the talent, we had the personality, we had the work ethic, we had the dedication from coaches like Coach Smith. But the one thing that was undeniable was the team chemistry. In preseason, we were unranked in the state, we were unranked in the conference, and we were coming off a sub-500 season. By the end of the season, we broke the program school record for wins at 22-2. We were A North Division champions, North 2 Group 3 state champions. We were named Short Conference Team of the Year, and we were ranked 7th in the state. So really, really great job to you guys. It didn't come easy. The girls showed up with passion and grit every day, and they had a love for the game, but most importantly, they had a love for each other. I feel so much pride and admiration for this group of young ladies. It's an understatement, truly. I wish I had the words to express how I felt about you guys. They deserved and they earned every bit of the success, and I know that I nor they will ever forget this. I speak for all of us in the soccer program when I say that it's an honor to be here recognizing and celebrating our team's achievements. And we thank all of you, Dr. George, Board of Education, administration, Mr. Carroll, Mr. Kirkpatrick, everyone in the district, especially family, friends who are out there cheering for us and supporting us every step of the way, my coaching staff, and just the community in all. This opportunity wouldn't be possible without all of you. So on behalf of the Board of Education, I would like to recognize each member of the team for her contribution to the season, program, and to the South community. First, Hannah Rudnick. Good job. Debbie Cannon. Abby Doherty. Michaela Jaffe. Erin Prince. Lara Brennan. Francesca Campanelli. Megan Carragher, who could not be here tonight, but still Savannah Ginda. also couldn't make it, but she was Angie Shekin. Jess Musello. Helena Cannon. Katie Coyle. Jordan Key. Abby Larrier. Molly Estelle. Shauna Mellon. Sophia Romano. Kira Prince. Jess Monahan. Emma Bennett. Philomena Di Gregorio. Emma Lanisi. Maddie Lanisi. And Haley Nicholas, who couldn't make it.
Great, thank you everybody for coming. I know the student athletes got to get home, coaches, student athletes, community members, parents. Thank you all. Appreciate it. Love you working out.